They filmed the truth. But truth has a price. These 8 filmmakers faced arrests, death threats, and exile, just for pressing record. What they captured, governments tried to erase. This isn't fiction. This is what really happened. Right now, I challenge you. You've got just 3 seconds to subscribe to the channel. Only 1% of viewers actually manage to do it in time. Are you one of them? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Mehran Tamadon. Mehran Tamadon, Iranian, 2014. Mehran Tamadon, an Iranian-French filmmaker, dared to do what no one else had. Bring 4 hardline Iranian mullahs into his home and film open debates about democracy and religious power. In Iran, where dissent can mean prison, or worse, this was unthinkable. The film captures days of tense, dangerous conversation, with Tamadon calmly challenging their worldview. At one point, a cleric stops and asks, "If I admit this on camera, will your people kill me?" After the film's release, Tamadon returned to Iran to continue filming, but was arrested in 2022 by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. His whereabouts remained unknown for months. Activists feared for his life. Even before this, his family had been monitored, and he lived with constant threat. Hanung Bramantyo. Hanung Bramantyo. In a country torn by religious violence, Indonesian director Hanung Bramantyo released Tanda Tanya, a film exploring intolerance, persecution, and interfaith tension through the lens of a small restaurant. It was fictional, but far too real. Extremist Muslim groups accused the film of blasphemy and undermining Islamic values. Protests erupted. Theaters were threatened, actors received death threats, and mobs demanded the film be pulled from screens. Some cinemas caved. Government officials distanced themselves. Bramantyo began receiving anonymous calls warning him not to travel, but he refused to retract the film. He said, "If we can't talk about this peacefully, we'll fight it through film." Tanda Tanya was eventually banned from several provinces. Karim Amer and Jehane Noujaim. Karim Amer and Jehane Noujaim. During the Egyptian Revolution, filmmakers Karim Amer and Jehane Noujaim embedded themselves inside Tahrir Square, capturing not just the protests, but the violence, torture, and betrayal that followed. The military government didn't want this story told. As the film gained international traction, the crew faced threats, raids, and interrogation. One of the activists featured in the film, Ahmed Hassan, was arrested and beaten. Others fled the country. When the square was nominated for an Oscar, Egypt refused to acknowledge it. Attempts to screen it publicly were blocked by censors. Even Netflix was warned against pushing it too hard in the region. Mohammed Al-Kuwari. Mohammed Al-Kuwari. In 2011, during the Arab Spring, the tiny Gulf state of Bahrain erupted in protest demanding democracy and human rights. Al Jazeera English sent journalist Mohammed Al-Kuwari to cover it. What he captured became Bahrain, shouting in the dark. A shocking look inside a country where cameras were banned, hospitals were raided, and doctors arrested for treating protesters. Mohammed filmed secret footage of night raids, torture victims, and state brutality. His identity had to be hidden. At one point, he was nearly captured while smuggling footage across the border. After the documentary aired, the Bahraini government accused Al Jazeera of fabrication and inciting unrest. The film was immediately banned across Bahrain and other Gulf nations. Al-Kuwari received death threats and was told he'd be arrested if he returned to the country. Weiwei. Weiwei. Weiwei is a Chinese artist and filmmaker known for publicly challenging the Chinese Communist Party. While making Human Flow, a documentary about global refugee crises, he was already being watched. Years earlier, I was secretly detained for 81 days by Chinese authorities, had his passport revoked, and his studio demolished. But he didn't stop. While filming in 23 countries, including Iraq, Palestine, and Afghanistan, he faced armed checkpoints, censorship, and surveillance. In Bangladesh, officials demanded he stop filming Rohingya camps. In Greece, riot police shut down scenes. In China, human flow is fully banned, and I's name is heavily censored online. He now lives in exile in Portugal. Orwa Nyrabia. Orwa Nyrabia. Syrian filmmaker Orwa Nyrabia helped compile Silvered Water using footage filmed by ordinary Syrians on smuggled phones, raw videos of torture, bombings, and murder by Assad's regime. The film includes a harrowing scene of a child being beaten to death in prison. Orwa was arrested in Damascus airport in 2012 before filming began. He vanished for 3 weeks. Activists believed he'd been executed. After international pressure, he was released, but had to flee the country. While editing, multiple team members were detained or killed. The film's co-director, Osama Mohammed, worked from exile in Paris, watching Syria burn from afar. Silvered Water was banned across the Middle East. Deeyah Khan. Deeyah Khan, British-Norwegian filmmaker. Deeyah Khan set out to do the unthinkable: embed herself with American neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and former KKK members to confront them face-to-face. As a woman of color and Muslim background, she received thousands of death threats even before filming began. One subject threatened to shoot her on camera. FBI agents warned her about credible threats to her life. But she kept going, capturing disturbing conversations and emotional confrontations. In one scene, a former skinhead breaks down in tears after admitting his hate came from trauma. After the documentary aired, Deeyah had to move under protection. Anastasia Popova. Anastasia Popova. Anastasia Popova, a Russian war correspondent working for state television, entered Syria during the bloodiest phase of its civil war. But instead of parroting official narratives, she began filming the raw, unfiltered reality. Bombed hospitals, terrified civilians, and testimonies from all sides, including those the Kremlin would rather silence. Popova captured not just destruction, but contradictions. Her footage challenged the notion of a clean, precise Russian military operation. When the Syrian Diaries aired internationally, particularly in Europe, it drew attention for its brutal honesty. That didn't sit well with pro-government voices in Russia. Accusations of betrayal began. She was labeled disloyal, and quiet threats followed. Some of her footage was quietly erased from state archives. Under pressure and fearing for her safety, Popova withdrew from frontline reporting. See you in the next video.